All right, welcome back to The Explainer. If you're a focused learner looking to absolutely crush your next remote tech interview, and I mean from the literal camera setup all the way to that final high-stakes salary negotiation, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we are diving into a high-stakes playbook specifically built for software engineers. We're going to break down the exact strategies, frameworks, and word-for-word scripts that separate your average candidate from the ones who walk away with top-tier offers. Now, to put into perspective just how high the stakes really are here, take a look at this number, $24,479. According to placement data, that is the average annual salary increase tech professionals get simply by choosing to negotiate their offers instead of just blindly accepting the first number on the table. And remember, that compounds. Over a 5-year period, when you factor in standard raises, taking that first offer could literally cost you over $150,000 in total earnings. Our ultimate goal today? To make absolutely sure you don't leave that kind of money on the table. So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're hitting 5 key areas. First up, the professional remote setup. Number 2, attire and body language. Third is behavioral performance. Fourth, we'll unpack the total compensation package. And finally, number 5, we're giving you actual scripts for salary negotiation. Let's jump right into part 1, the professional remote setup, or how to properly engineer your virtual environment. Okay, let's dive into this comparison, because it is literally a game changer. The amateur setup, we see it all the time. A candidate is sitting flush against a flat wall, which completely compresses the camera shot and, frankly, kind of makes them look trapped in a box. They're using their open laptop microphone, which catches every single echo and dog bark in the neighborhood, and they log into Zoom using some casual gaming handle they use on the weekends. Now contrast that with a professional setup. Pros use what's called the 3-foot spatial rule. Basically, you leave at least 3 feet of space between the back of your head and the wall behind you. This creates a really nice, natural depth of field that makes you pop on screen. They also use earbuds or good external mic to isolate their voice. And naturally, their display name is a clean, professional first and last name. It's a simple checklist, but treating your home setup like a professional studio sets a massive standard of quality before you even say hello.
All right, moving on to part 2, attire and body language. Basically, dressing for the offer you want.
Now, in the tech world, there's this infamous and, frankly, kind of dangerous myth floating around. Tech executive Stephen Cohen once dropped this idea that great engineers just don't care about fashion, claiming that looking at a guy's jeans is a surprisingly good heuristic for their actual coding skills. This implies that top-tier technical talent is completely indifferent to how they look, and that if you dress well, it might actually signal you lack technical depth. Crazy, right? Well, relying on this myth is a massive risk. It can totally backfire and cost you the job.
So how should you actually dress for a software engineering interview? We use what we call the 1 to 2 degrees nicer rule. It's simple. Find out what their engineering team wears on a daily basis and just take it up a notch or 2 to show respect and cultural fit. For instance, if their engineers are always in t-shirts and jeans, your sweet spot is a clean, button-down shirt with some high-quality, dark wash denim. You want to follow a hard rule here. Never, ever wear a basic t-shirt to an interview, even if it has the company's own logo on it. The only real exception, if you're interviewing at a super traditional financial institution or a Tier 1 investment bank, where a tailored business suit is still the absolute gold standard.
Okay, let's transition to part 3, behavioral performance. We're talking about upgrading to the STARR framework.
When it comes to the behavioral round, please do not make the mistake of treating these questions like you're just having a casual chat over coffee. You probably know the STARR method, right? Well, we're upgrading that to STARR with 2 R's. Here is the breakdown. Situation sets the scene really quickly. Task, or I actually prefer target, defines the exact goal you were aiming for. Action is the real meat of your story, showing the logical steps you took. Your first result is where you drop the concrete, quantifiable outcomes. But here is the secret sauce, the second R, reflection. This is what separates junior devs from senior engineers. Wrapping up your story with a mature reflection on what you learned projects incredible seniority and growth potential. Let's run through a quick mock scenario so you can see exactly how this flows. Say an interviewer heads you with, "Tell me about a time you had a conflict with a teammate." Boom. Here's your STARR response. Situation. At my last job, a colleague and I bumped heads on a database design. They wanted NoSQL, I pushed for SQL. Target. My goal was to resolve this productively and just get the best technical outcome for the project. Action. Instead of arguing in circles, I suggested we build tiny prototypes for both approaches to test them out practically, and then we reviewed the data with the whole team. Result. We objectively saw SQL was better for our data integrity and the project shipped without a hitch. Reflection, honestly, this taught me the absolute value of evidence-based decisions over personal preference, and it totally strengthened my working relationship with that teammate. See how that works? Notice how structured and evidence-backed that narrative is? It's powerful stuff.
Moving right along to part 4, the total compensation package. We are looking way beyond just the base salary here.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is understanding where you actually have the leverage to push back. To negotiate like a pro, you need a complete mindset shift on how tech compensation functions. Most engineers fixate 100% on the base salary. But here's the thing, base salary actually only has moderate negotiation ability because it permanently affects the company's bottom line and messes with internal pay scales. Look at equity and signing bonuses instead. These have insanely high negotiability. Companies would much rather hand out stock than cash, and signing bonuses come from a totally separate, non-recurring budget that vanishes if they don't use it. So when the recruiter tells you their hands are tight on budget, usually they just mean the base salary is maxed out. Your real leverage is treating the offer like a total compensation pie.
And that brings us perfectly to part 5, scripts for salary negotiation. It is time to claim your actual market value.
So how do we actually ask for it without sounding awkward? I'm going to give you the exact 5-part playbook for a flawless negotiation. Step 1, when you finally get that offer, show genuine enthusiasm. Remind them why they like you. Step 2, never, ever negotiate on the spot. Ask for 3 to 5 business days to review the full package. Step 3, when you circle back, counter with a highly specific number that's anchored in real market data from places like levels.fyi. Try something like, based on market data for this specific level, I'd be more comfortable at $150,000. And pro tip, never give a range. If you say 130 to 150, I promise you they only hear 130. Step 4, expect a little pushback. If they say no, you pivot gracefully to other levers. And finally, step 5, close with absolute certainty. Say, if we can hit this number with these terms, I am completely ready to sign today. Giving them certainty makes it so much easier for the recruiter to just say yes. And this brilliantly illustrates what to do if you hit a wall on step 4. Let's say the base salary is completely locked, no budging. You immediately pivot to these non-cash levers. You could ask for an accelerated vesting schedule for your stock, maybe get a 40-30-20-10 split instead of waiting around for the standard 25% a year. You can ask for a $10,000 to $50,000 signing bonus. Or hey, if they won't bump the pay now, ask for a guaranteed performance review at 6 months instead of a whole year. You can negotiate remote office stipends, or even ask for a leveling upgrade. Bumping your title from senior to staff engineer changes your entire baseline compensation bracket. So, you now have the ultimate playbook. We covered the professional setup, mastering the STARR method, getting your attire right, and those step-by-step negotiation scripts, the whole shebang. So I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on before your next interview. What is your true market value? And now that you actually know how the game is played, are you willing to ask for it? Look, never accept the first offer. Do the research, practice your delivery, and go get exactly what you are worth. Thanks so much for joining us on this explainer, and we will catch you next time.